Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oldham County Fiscal Court. I'm Judge Executive David Vogel. We're happy to have you here today on the 18th day of September. If you're able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, we're just going to ask you to help with Don start the PowerPoint when he comes up. All right. If you happen to bring a cell phone with you today, if you could turn it to off or vibrate, would be fine. So I'm going to ask our clerk now, Sheila Fair, to please call the roll.
Magistrate Likens.
Here.
Magistrate Tice.
Here.
Magistrate Leslie.
Here.
Magistrate Greenwell.
Here.
Magistrate Hounds.
Here.
Magistrate Eldridge.
Here.
Magistrate Dye.
Here.
Magistrate Logsdon.
Here.
Judge Vogel.
Here. Having all members of the fiscal court present, this meeting is now in session. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved. Second.
And I'm going to add, after the public comment response, I'm going to add insert there to have Don Helton tell us about progress at Veterans Memorial Park.
I have something, Judge.
All right.
Erosion control bond release for a development in Oldham County.
Okay, we'll make that C1, subsection 1,
Thank you.
bond release. All right. Anybody else have anything else to add? Leslie?
Yeah, committee meeting report on the request to change the ordinance on smoking.
All right. Let's put that under, we'll put that as C sub 2. How would that be?
Sure.
The committee report. Okay, the Public Safety Committee.
Yes.
Okay. Or anything else? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. As our custom, we'll now read the minutes from our last meeting, which was on September 4th.
September 4th, 2018. The Oldham County Fiscal Court convened at a regular meeting at 2:05 p.m. with Judge Executive David Vogel, County Attorney John Carter, and the following magistrates in attendance: Brent Likens, Wayne Tice, Steve Greenwell, Chris Hounds, Kevin Eldridge, Bob Dye, and Michael Logsdon. Magistrate Leslie was absent. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Greenwell to approve the agenda. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds and seconded by Magistrate Likens to approve the meeting minutes of August 21st. Motion carried unanimously. Public comment. Becky Zocklin announced the county's annual shredding event is Saturday, September 15th from 9 to noon at the fairgrounds. Karen Greenwell, administrator from City Place, announced a free outdoor concert featuring the Louisville Orchestra, 7 p.m. Saturday, September 22nd at City Place in LaGrange. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Greenwell to add Moser Farm Road to agenda under committee reports and recommendations. Motion carried unanimously. Bid opening for the stream and wetland restoration on LaGrange Parkway. The following sealed bid for the stream and wetland restoration project for LaGrange Parkway was open and read aloud for the record. Environmental Management Specialists, $486,298, not to exceed. County Administration Payables. Motion made by Magistrate Eldridge and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to approve the payables. Motion carried 7-1. Magistrate Greenwell voted no. Surplus property. Motion made by Magistrate Greenwell, seconded by Magistrate Dye, to declare surplus the listed county property, the damaged 2014 Sheriff's Office Ford Explorer, with intent to salvage. Motion carried unanimously. Community business. First reading, zoning map amendment, 8809 Holly Gibson Road. Planning Director Jim Urban requested this item be removed from the agenda as it requires a resubmittal to the Planning Commission first. Judge Vogel stated the first reading of the proposed zoning map amendment will be presented at a later date. Contract agreements and resolutions. Litter abatement grant application. Motion made by Magistrate Likens, seconded by Magistrate Tice, to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the grant application relating to the 2019 litter abatement program. Motion carried unanimously. Jefferson Audio Visual. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the maintenance agreement with JAVS relating to maintenance and support services for the courtroom recording system equipment. Motion carried unanimously. Committee reports and recommendations. For the Road Committee, erosion control bond release, Oldham Oaks Access Road. Motion made by Magistrate Greenwell and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge upon the recommendation of the county engineer to release the $9,500 erosion control bond for Oldham Oaks Access Road in LaGrange. Motion carried unanimously. Road Committee, the erosion control bond release for Kids Haven in LaGrange. Motion made by Magistrate Greenwell, and seconded by Magistrate Hounds upon the recommendation of the county engineer to release the $20,500 erosion control bond for Kids Haven by Sandy Development in LaGrange. Motion carried unanimously. Human Resource Committee, Assistant Maintenance Director. Motion made by Magistrate Logsdon and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to approve the job description for Assistant Maintenance Director. Motion carried unanimously. Road Committee, Moser Farm Road. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to authorize the Judge Executive to appoint 2 residents to a committee with the county engineer to view Moser Farm Road and a request to discontinue the road. Motion carried unanimously. Personnel actions, maintenance. Motion made by Magistrate Lincoln, seconded by Magistrate Hounds to approve the promotion of Joe Kelly as Assistant Maintenance Director, no rate change, effective September 5th. Motion carried unanimously. Dispatch. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds and seconded by Magistrate Greenwell to accept the resignation of Jason Smizer effective September 8th and to approve the promotion of Zach Wilt to Telecommunicator 2 at $16 an hour effective September 8th. Motion carried unanimously. Parks and Recreation. Motion made by Magistrate Likens and seconded by Magistrate Tice to hire Megan Williams as building monitor at $7.40 an hour effective September 5th. No motion carried unanimously. Public comment, none. Announcements. Magistrate Dye announced Apple Patch is celebrating its 30th anniversary Sunday, September 9th with a picnic fundraiser at Fox Hollow Farms from 1 to 5. For more information, visit the website applepatch.org. Magistrate Hounds asked again for drivers to slow down when cutting through Confederate Estates in Ashbrook. Ash Avenue culvert work continues. Magistrate Greenwell reminded the community about the free concert hosted by City Place with Louisville Orchestra, 7 p.m. Saturday, September 22nd. Magistrate Linkens provided a brief update on items the building committee are currently working on. Judge Vogel stated street signs are being vandalized and ripped from posts in neighborhoods throughout the county and asked that suspicious activity be reported to the Oldham County Police. Not only is this costly to the county, it's also a potential safety issue as emergency responders refer to street signs when trying to reach a destination. The new Dahlgren Pioneer Barn on the Oldham County History Center campus is hosting a free program about the fundamentals of the Constitution, Saturday, September 8th from 10 to noon. South Oldham Rotary's annual bourbon and wine tasting fundraisers, Friday, September 7th at Udell Gardens, and the Masonic Lodge in LaGrange is celebrating the 200th year of its charter with the dedication ceremony 10 to 3, Saturday, September 8th. Motion made by Magistrate Linkens and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to table the bid award for the stream and wetland restoration project for LaGrange Parkway to allow further review. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to adjourn the meeting. Motion carried unanimously, and the meeting adjourned at 2:47.
You heard the reading of our minutes from September 4th. Are there any corrections?
Yes, Judge.
Good die.
On the top of the back page, under the Road Committee, Moser Farm Road, might want to, just so for future reference for other people, where on the second line it says to view Moser Farm Road and request a discontinue the road, it should read to discontinue a small unused portion of that road. Okay?
All right.
Just so there won't be any confusion when somebody thinks they're going to close that
All right,
road.
just a stub street there.
Yeah.
And we'll be appointing those people here soon. A couple of steps in the process. All right, is there anyone else? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? So moved. Before we get to public comment, I'm going to make my own comment here, and I believe that our maintenance department has been active in this room because unless it's just me, all of a sudden the lights have it's got a light brighter in here. I don't know if you can tell this if anyone's watching on our TV channel, but it's at the peak of brightness here right now, I believe.
Now they can see what you really look like.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. All your flaws come out under intense light here. We're going to have public comment now. Is there anyone who would like to address the fiscal court able to do so? And we'll have Becky Zockline step up. Hi, Becky.
Thank you, Judge, and thank you, members of the Fiscal Court. I want to both report on the results of the very successful shredding event that we had this past Saturday. First of all, we had wonderful weather, no thanks to me, or you.
That's true.
But I do have to thank the folks at the Paper Predator, the shredding company that provides this service to our Oldham County at no charge whatsoever. And they've been doing this for a number of years, and they have promised us that they will continue to do this as long as the current owners are in place. So we're very fortunate to have this gift, and we take advantage of it. And I also want to thank the Fair Board for providing the space to do this. Before the truck arrives to start shredding, we are already wrapping or snaking the traffic through the different channels that they have kept clear and clean and easy for us to use. So I'm very grateful to the Fair Board too. As always, we will continue to have this event on the third Saturday in September. This year we had 152 vehicles, and there was 11,000 pounds of paper shredded in 3 hours. So we're pretty pleased with that. And then I want to remind everybody that we have the Household Hazardous Waste event coming up next month, the third Saturday in October. And this same list of items that are accepted at the hazardous waste event is on our website. I asked the public to please refer to that for exact items that will be accepted. Just to save a little time, we do not accept latex paint or motor oils. Latex paint can be disposed of after it has been dried out, and you can put it in your trash. Any questions about any items, please feel free to call 565-1007, this is the recycling center number, and I look forward to another great event. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Becky. Anyone else who would like to address the fiscal court? Seeing no one, I'm going to close public comment and go on to the first item on our agenda today. I'd like to invite Don Helton to step forward. Don is the founder and driving force behind the Veterans Park of Kentucky, which is being built in Crestwood, the property of South Oldham High School. And knowing that Don was going to be here today, welcome, Don. It's good to see you. I had Jay McDowell go down and shoot some pictures this morning so we could share those with people in our courtroom here today and on television. Don hasn't seen the pictures yet, so you'll have to respond as they come up. But first of all, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the invitation.
Okay, and why don't we go ahead, maybe Amy can start you out there, and then I'll push the pictures forward as we go.
Just to give you an idea, this was, and I can't do it with all of them because I know that y'all have a meeting to do, but this one's really special. Howard Griffin, who's one of our hometown heroes, he's a veteran of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and he is wounded in all three. After we had our dedication last year, he contacted me and said, we need to have a World War II monument. And he donated $25,000. Pictures were submitted by an Oldham County high school student. We are actually partnered with the National Archives because the pictures that go in our big monuments, and we're going to have at least 12 of them, what they are, they have to be a certain size. And so we're able to work with the National Archives to get the pictures that are of the size large enough to go on there. So it's a great partnership because they don't charge us anything. So that's the story on that. And Encompass, they're donating their time to not only manage our construction, but also to continue on with the project. And we're working directly with East and Westbrook, who is working very closely with us on additional concrete that has to be installed, what have you. This information kiosk, if you have a brick there, you can come, you can see exactly where the location of the brick is. These pictures for Revolutionary Wars submitted from North Oldham High School. That's showing one of the World War II, one of the World War II pedestals. Research was that, but that was done by North Oldham High School, both Europe and Pacific. You'll notice that sand is from Iwo Jima has been mixed in with the sand of the project. There are 3 different color bricks. That's where they're discussed.
Beautiful display and flags. You have programs. We've had several programs there so far. And tell us a little about the walkway.
Yeah, the walkway is segmented. There's a year insert starting with 1775 up to 2017. If that segment is colored, that indicates at least one American died in military action that year. So people are actually walking on history. They can look down and see someone paid the ultimate sacrifice. This is a bench. The 2 benches are $2,000 each. We got the idea of the bench that's down here in LaGrange, same company. And this is Iwo Jima. To give you an idea, we pay $2,000. If you were to buy us $3,500, we get a good discount. We have education markers, and what these are, these provide specific information. This was sponsored by the Marine Corps League in Louisville about the Chosin Reservoir. Is their one of their most historical battles, and where they did not leave someone behind. This was sponsored by someone actually they live in Florida, their family's in Henderson, and it represents families. It's etched, and this, actually the bench comes from the company that makes our big monuments. And they chose the pictures and the what went on it. We also have county markers, which Oldham County has one. But when we got one from Cumberland County, I had to look up exactly where is Cumberland County. And we have them from Henderson, so we have from 10 of them from around the state. We use the granite for the pedestals. It jacked up our project a couple $100,000. We only use American granite, because can you imagine a Korean War veteran reading about the Korean War on top of a pedestal where the granite comes from China? So there was never a question. So but we do get the granite at cost from a company down in Georgia. The kiosk was assembled by the Ford Motor Company. We're also installing a kiosk, and they volunteered to assemble that for us, and a speaker stand. Right now, Encompass is working up the design. They will also be assembling it. They have a volunteer group. And the kiosk is going into a large area, and the National Daughters of the American Revolution sponsored the 5 metal branches, the branch emblems, the granite. This is, again, American granite. It comes from Graniteville. And so the 5-sided kiosk, which we had to do a special order for the 5 military branches.
I love this one in particular. I like them all. Everything is beautiful.
That is nice. They did a nice job, wonderful job on that.
The picture at the top is from Washington's farewell dinner with his officers after the Revolutionary War. I've been at the tavern in New York, which escapes me right now, but I've been in the room where that scene took place. It's an extremely moving circumstance.
To give you an idea, last year we installed, not counting what the park did, we're finishing up our infrastructure now, but $40,000 worth of donated monies. Park components were put in last year. This year, we just received last week a grant from Kentucky Veterans Trust Fund for 3 pedestals. The Kentucky Colonels are donating a pedestal, so we're putting in 4 pedestals. At least, I'm hoping to get at least representation from the 3 local high schools doing the raw research for the pedestals. I did speak to St. Francis High School yesterday downtown, because this is not just a local project. This is Veterans Memorial Park. Park of Kentucky. We're blessed to have it. But it also, I want to reach out as much as I can outside the county. We also have 4 educational markers going in. One of them is the 4 chaplains who went down with the Dorchester. And working with the Oldham County Ministerial Association, they're sponsoring the 2 educational markers. And we're looking at homeschool students are actually planning on them doing the research for that. But we do have some other educational markers going in. So it's a work in progress, but we have a plan, we have a budget, and it's about $1.5 million project. But it's something that, to give you an idea, one last thing, we were up there actually working on the brick, where the brick locations are, and there was a classroom going through, and it was a middle school science class. They were doing a scavenger hunt based on they had to find certain things on the different monuments. There was a person with us 2 weeks earlier. There was a high school Spanish class doing the same thing. So it is educating the students, besides our direct involvement of bringing them into the project to do research. We just had an Eagle Scout project finished, beautiful drainage ditch. It was just ugly, but they did a beautification actually, plus functional. And so the drainage ditch has been rocked, and so it was done by Logan Snyder, whose dad is a physical therapist in Pewee Valley as an Eagle Scout. Anyone have any questions?
Don, you've done a tremendous job on the Veterans Memorial Park of Kentucky. What year did you actually begin?
It started in 2010. We received our 501c3, and we had our first board of directors meeting in April. And then we started our fundraising about 3 years later. We were going out, but I'm talking about where we have different projects. And actually tomorrow night we're having Vittles for Vets at Martini's and Bricks. Bricks is Martini's in the Summit. Bricks is located on 146 at LaGrange Road in Gene Snyder, and it's just to the right of Kroger's. And what we're doing, we get a percentage of it, of the food sales that night. So feel free to go eat, take your family out to eat tomorrow night.
Well, you have done a tremendous job spearheading this and leading it and originating it and developing, and I know you have a number of people helping you now, but every good idea has to have a champion, and you have been the originator and champion of this idea. And
A lot of people
we're very,
helping.
very proud to have this in our county.
And it's
Mike-
only going to get more beautiful.
Magistrate Logston brought to our attention the fact that you are working on a gazebo now, and I believe Magistrate Likens met with the Grants Committee this morning. Magistrate Likens?
I did. Thank you, Judge. First off, I would like for you to tell people where this park is, because I couldn't find it. I know about where it is, but is there a sign out on 140?
Not yet. We were we're working with Kim Buckler on that, who's one of our best supporters. It just, we wanted to have something for people to see. You know, we put a sign up and they look around, well, but I can tell you after this year, we're going to be definitely in a position. It's actually located right in front of South Oldham High School. And the Board of Education is a wonderful partner. And you all been around long enough, well, I'm sorry to say that. Some of you have been around long, where you see great ideas, great projects, volunteers, and then they fall apart. Well, what's going to happen if something happens to our Board of Directors? The Board of Education is taking the project over and will continue it. And so we're located directly in front of South Oldham, and working with Kim, we will be getting signs there. But we also wanted people to be able to see a little more than just what we dedicated with last year. And by this spring, we're going to have a lot more.
Thank you. And the brick sidewalk program, I bought one from my father, who is a veteran of World War II. Can you tell us, is that still an ongoing?
It is. We've actually just received an order of 50, just over 50 bricks. We order at least twice a year. We have to order around 40 to 50 bricks to keep the price down. The bricks are $50 each. They cost, we want to keep it down to where we make about 25, so it's about a split. When I researched it, there were some places charging as much as $400 for a brick. Ours are only, and we want to keep the cost down, and they're only for veterans. We don't have like Dutch and Joe's Bar and Grill supports the vets. Only for veterans, and there are 3 colors. One for veteran active duty, one for PLW MIA. The other one is somebody who's killed in action, died in service of the country, or it remains not found. It remains not found, what that means, like there's a large cemetery in the Philippines. They know that John Jones is there, his body's there, but they could not identify him. That's where it's classified by the federal government, remains not found. So that's the 3rd color, which really makes it
And
special.
how do you contact you to
Well,
buy
on the
one of these?
website we have is a brick form. It's easier.
Give us the website.
Or contact me, VMPKY, Veterans Memorial Park, Kentucky, KY.org, VMPKY.org.
Judge, I think maybe we could put that in the What's Happening magazine,
And
the
so
next one we send
that's
out.
one location, but they can always give me a phone call and I can email it or mail it to them. So that's not an issue.
And the Grants Committee did meet today, and we would like to recommend that we give a $5,000 donation to the Veterans Memorial Park of Kentucky.
That's second. That's a motion.
Thank
All right,
you. That's a form.
moved and seconded that we donate $5,000 to the Veterans Memorial Park of Kentucky. Is there any further discussion on this or anything? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion
We do have
carries.
$5,000, it's $15,000 project. We have 5,000 private donation. This makes 10, and we've got a really good source for another grant, for a grant next month. And so it will be, thank you, because it will be installed by next spring, definitely before our program in May. So I really appreciate this.
You're welcome.
And as
Don.
such, I was scout leader, and I just dropped a coin. I need some, be prepared, just in case we might get did I? Okay. Well,
Go ahead somewhere. All right, good job,
okay,
baby.
just in case we were getting a grant today. What happened, fiscal court, we have different levels of sponsorship. One, Centurion Corps, $1,000 or more. 5-star sponsors, $5,000. Major sponsors, $25,000. And we have recently received, recognized two organizations as Commander-in-Chief sponsor, which is $50,000 or more. That's Humana Military and Kentucky Veterans Trust Fund. So with this today approval, Oldham County Fiscal Court becomes a 5-star sponsor. Will be recognized on our website. We're putting in, it's been ordered, a 6-foot wide gray granite cut in the shape of Kentucky that's going to the main entrance. It's got a black granite insert, and they're going to be tabs, etched tabs. And we have our sponsors and supporters. Fiscal Court will also be recognized there. But also, you receive 5 veteran bricks and a solid, almost solid, gold, it's a gold park challenge coin. And so I'd like to present this. These are the certificates.
Thank you very much. All
It's
right.
the only way I can pass this challenge coin is in the handshake.
All right, oh, it's there.
the only way to pass
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So thank you all, appreciate it, and thank you for all the time.
All right, thank you, Don. Thank you. Continued good luck. Everybody look at this. All right, Amy, we'll turn that off. Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda now, and that has to do with the payables. When you're ready, we'll pay the bills here. Pardon? Oops, pardon me, we got a bid opening. That's for cleaning services.
Yes, but nobody did it, I guess.
All right, modern maintenance here is the first bidder price not to exceed $33,000 annually for the fiscal court building, planning and development, and the dispatch and police department. So planning and development part of the fiscal court building. The next bid is from Dorota Tenzaoni, if I say that right, of Shelbyville. This bid here, I'm not sure if that's per month. It says $2,500, but I don't think that's it for the year. So, next one is from Corvus Janitorial Services. All right, well, doesn't seem to be a bid on the front page here that I see. I'm going to have to give this to our finance department, our county treasurer to look at. Is there any further bids? Okay, I'm not able to, for some reason, I don't see exactly what the bid price is on that. Do you? Well, yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to be free. It's free. Say there. All right. What are they? Is this a monthly number or what is that? Monthly number is $3,560. The other one was $2,500, but the others bid on an annual basis. First one. So $2,750 is what that is. All right.
And the first one, the modern maintenance is $33,000 for fiscal court and then another $13,000 for police and dispatch.
Okay. All right. All right, I'm going to let you take these and determine which is the most competitive bid there. Okay? The next item now are the payables, and when you're ready, we'll accept a motion to pay the bills for the last 2 months. 2 weeks, that is. All right. Are there any questions, discussion about it? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 8-1. Next item on today's agenda and is the lease renewal for the state HVAC inspector's office. This is a small space downstairs that the state rents from us in the planning and zoning department. They don't pay too much for it. Anybody see the price back here? It's about $900 a year, I think, isn't it? Does anybody see it? $750 something? $768. $768? Okay.
It's right here, Jeff.
There it is. Okay. Well, okay. It starts off with 1,000, with a zero comma, just $768 a year. All right, is there a motion that we go forward with this small lease? All right. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now we have our flood mitigation grant application. Becky, would you like to go ahead and do that?
Sure, thank you, Judge. The Flood Mitigation Assistance Program has been a program of the fiscal court since 2014, when we took our first applications. Of the 10 applications that we have submitted, 7 have been accepted for further review, resulting in a total awards of potentially $6,402,628.69, with a total number of properties, 27 properties being mitigated against flood loss. So this program is operating so well in Oldham County that our floodplain manager, Jim Urban, has been asked to do a presentation to the Kentucky Association of Mitigation Managers this month. The 2018 application period opens on October 1st, and we are expecting, as you might imagine, quite a number of applicants or homeowners applying for this due to last winter's flood. We are going to be asking homeowners to turn in all of their information by November 27th, but I need to back up and thank the Utilities Committee for meeting on this, and Magistrate Eldridge for spearheading that discussion. Would you like to add anything?
Thank you. This has been a great program for Oldham County. It is primarily focused on the Riverside Drive area. There are a couple of homeowners associations there. They've worked really well with us. We've got a couple of properties over there that were demolished, and the county has taken over, and those homeowners have graciously offered, and they keep those mowed and looking nice. Due to the weather, as Ms. Zockland mentioned, we now, though, are anticipating we're going to have people in Tartan's Landing, we're going to have people in Westport. So the program, the scope of it, if you will expand. For that reason, this document that we're working on offered in the beginning 2 different possibilities. One was to tear your house down and let the county have that property in perpetuity. The second was to use funds to raise that property up above flood level. After coming to the committee and talking to the people from the area that were there, we have decided not to offer it in a situation where they would tear the house down and the county would take it over. It will only be offered through a situation where they will raise the property up and keep it. We had some concerns about just continuing to acquire these vacant parcels here and there. Again, these homeowner associations had worked great with us, but if it was one out in the middle of Westport and nobody wanted to mow it, it would come back to the county to have to upkeep it in perpetuity. So from the Utilities Committee, we made a unanimous vote that we would bring this back before you, and I would make that in the form of a motion.
I'd like to second that, Judge.
Moved and seconded that I be allowed to sign this grant application for additional flood mitigation funds for the Ohio River area. Is there any further discussion on it?
Just to echo what Becky said, it's worked great. So far, all the houses have been in my District 1. They're down on the river on Riverside Drive, but it's a great idea that this be expanded into Westport and on up through Tartan's Landing area.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The next item on the agenda now will be a bond release, isn't it, Magistrate Greenwell? Are
Yes.
you taking care of that? Okay.
It's being recommended by the county engineer that the erosion control bond amount of $30,000 be reduced to the amount of $15,000 for a one-time bond reduction to 50% of the original bond amount. And this is for Grand Oaks Section 4 subdivision development project. And this letter that you have in front of you is signed by our county engineer, Scott Harris. And I would make that motion that we reduce that.
Second.
Second. Any discussion on the reduction? All right, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next item here we added to the agenda today has to do with the Public Safety Committee. Magistrate Leslie.
Yes, thank you, Judge. We're going to make this short and sweet and to the point. This is a subject that's become ridiculous, and to keep it from de-evolving it any further from where it is, we're not going to change the smoking ordinance from what it is, period. And I don't care about a survey. I don't care about anybody else coming up. I gave directives to the two parties who wished to change it. Neither followed precisely what I wanted. And if you don't follow what I ask you to do one time, I don't ask you a second time. So the answer is absolutely, positively, no. That's it.
Okay. Anybody else have any comment on that? All right.
I would like to say one thing. We took this up into the safety committee. I tried to look at this with an open mind. Didn't know what vaping was, so to speak, and I wholeheartedly agree with Magistrate Leslie's recommendation.
All right.
Bob Dye was also on this. I don't know if he wants to say anything or not.
We went over, we had, I guess today would be 14 or 15 meetings on this, and from the very onset, we were guided by information we were given, and as Magistrate Leslie said, he asked for specific information and did not receive it, so that's we all decided that there was no reason to change it. There's no direction for any reason. So.
All right. Any further comments? Next item on the agenda has to do with personnel items, and Ms. Schaaf is not here today, so, or at least right now, so I'll take that and just say that we have a dispatch item here on the personnel. Jason Smizer, we did accept his resignation, I believe, at the last meeting. His resignation was because he wasn't really leaving county government overall. He was going to go to the detention center to work as an employee. As it turns out now, we're really shorthanded at dispatch. He's agreed to come back and fill in until we're able to meet all of our staffing requirements there. We're down, I think, about 2 or 3 dispatchers, and we're short. So dispatch is asking that he be able to come back on a part-time basis.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next items have to do with board appointments, and I'd like to reappoint Joan Bryant to the ambulance taxing board. Joan has been on the board for 2 years and has done a good job, and like to see her continue.
I make that motion, Judge.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item is to reappoint Gail Cox to a 4-year term on the Stormwater Board. Gail's done a good job, and I believe should be continued.
I make that motion also, Judge.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Here's the next board appointment, is a 4-year appointment to the Police Merit Board for John Lucan. Police Merit Board is made up of 5 individuals. 2 are registered Republican voters, 2 are registered Democrat voters, and the judge executive also serves on the Police Merit Board. John is representing a Democratic voter on the board. So I'd like to reappoint John.
Make a recommendation, or second it, however.
Second.
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next is the reappointment to the Oldham County Environmental Authority Board by Art Henson. Art, this would be a 4-year term. Art is a CPA and has kept his eye on the finances. Done a good job. I'd like to see him continue as well.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now we're back to our second public comment here today. Is there anyone who's come in since the meeting began who would like to address the fiscal court? See Jerry Nart moving forward here, so I assume that's going to be you, Jerry.
Yes, may it please the court, I would like to remind everyone that on October the 14th, we once again will have the Iron Man bicyclist in our county. And starting last year and sometimes in the past, some of the best information dissemination was through Smart 911. So I would like to advertise for all those watching and for the magistrates, if you would, in your districts, to encourage people to sign up for that, because we got real good response last year about we letting people know that 42 is going to be inundated in 20 minutes or whatever the time was that we put out. And then we let everybody know that all the cyclists had finished on the roads, and so it was open as well. And made some periodic updates along the way as it happened. So we've been encouraging people to sign up for Smart 911 for other reasons. This is a good one to do that. The bad experiences we had, or the unfortunate experiences we had a couple of weeks ago, were also those that could help as well. So we still have a low percentage of people in the county that are signed up. I would like to see that get larger, so I'm putting in a plug for Smart 911 right now.
Right, the survey that we did earlier regarding warning signs on the on-ramps, one of the questions had to do with participation in Smart 911. A significant number of people had heard about it, but only about 40% of the people who took the survey actually said they had signed up. It's
We
kind of
have currently less
not
than,
that hard.
yeah, currently less than 5,000 people in the county signed up.
Right, so we need obviously more drivers to sign up.
And I've been attending homeowner association meetings and city council meetings. I'm going to River Bluff next week, and I always carry a stack with me. If anybody needs a stack of cards, I can get you cards down
We're
there.
trying to encourage people. It's a very good service. It's working well.
Yes,
So, and it's not, if you're challenged by how to sign up, call our dispatch office or call Jerry Nart.
Correct. Call
He
the
will walk you
emergency
through it
manager.
on the telephone and get you signed up. Because
Yes,
some
sir.
people are actually, afraid of or
Absolutely, sir.
just confused about how to handle a phone.
Either I or Miss Schindler will do that. She's even better at it than I am.
Okay, we'll get it done for you.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
on most, there's a link on on the county website, and I know that, I believe the police department and EMS and the fire and other public service agencies all have a link on their websites to get to that service.
That's correct, Magistrate.
Right, great.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to make any type of announcement? All right. We don't see anyone. We'll close public comment. Our meeting is going to last less than an hour today. Some days have long meetings, some days have short meetings, and this will be in the short category. Let's go through our magistrates, see if Magistrate Logston has anything he'd like to add today.
Yes, Judge. Thank you, Jerry, for giving that report. 911 really does work. It's a great program. It lets you know when there's a wreck on 71, it lets you know when it's cleared up. Any major catastrophe that happens in the county, please, if everybody would sign up, it would, help you out tremendously on the roads. Secondly, since we're talking about roads, please, everyone, be careful going down Highway 329, the four-lane bypass, or four-lane road now. It's not the bypass anymore, but they're repaving it. When you drop over the hill, the speed limit is 45 now. It's not 55. So please just watch your speed. You've got turning lanes going in by Red Pepper, so it's in the school. So just please be careful when you're driving on that road. It's a very dangerous road. So.
Magistrate Dye.
Thank you, Judge. I have a commercial announcement today for Fox Hollow Farm is having its 11th annual Fall Festival. It is I'm trying to read this on my phone, it's very small, so bear with me. It is this weekend. They are looking for volunteers. If you go to the Fox Hollow website, you can sign up and they will advance you some tickets, I believe, to get in. But it's going to have hay rides and games and those corn mazes and all of that. But it's been very popular out there, so And all the, it's the proceeds from this event's going to the Dare to Care Food Bank.
What time?
So it's from 9 to 6, I believe, here. That's all I got.
All right. Magistrate Eldridge?
Thank you, Judge. Just two items. Number one, in District 6, the LaGrange Parkway is opened. I've gotten a lot of rave reviews on that, but I've also got a lot of people calling me to say that the deer are rampant out there. Everybody is seeing deer. They've been all over the place. Another thing that's happening is now that LaGrange Parkway is open, the deer are coming across Highway 53 there where LaGrange Parkway and Blakemore meet. So several people have reported that. So as the season comes about, they'll be moving even more. Be careful of that. Secondly, we spoke last week, or 2 weeks ago, about the Rawlins Group and everything that they've done for the county. I also wanted to bring up today that, as you saw in Don Helton's presentation, both Encompass and Easton Westbrook have stepped up there. So we have a tremendous amount of citizen volunteers, but we also have some corporate volunteers in the county, and we need to remember them. Thank you.
Magistrate Hounds?
Thank you, Judge. They continue to do work on the culvert on Ash Avenue. There has been a statement made that they will have it partially opened by October the 1st. Those of us that travel on a regular basis are not overly optimistic, but we will see. That's all I have.
Magistrate Greenwell?
Thank you, Judge. Just another reminder about the free concert at City Place this Saturday, the 22nd at 7 p.m., rain or shine, and if it does rain, it'll be moved inside, and it is featuring the Louisville Orchestra.
Magistrate Leslie?
Nothing else, sir.
Magistrate Tice?
Nothing for me today. Thank you.
Magistrate Likens?
Nothing for me, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Combs? Nothing.
Judge,
All the announcements were taken by the, this side of the table here today. Huh?
I've got one more.
Okay.
Magistrate Hounds, maybe it just popped in my head. I looked at this morning paper, and there was a young man, and I forget where the city was, but they found him. He had been sucked into a storm culvert. We had the same situation over in Jefferson County a few weeks ago, a young man, I believe from Trinity High School. So when we have these rain events, please, explain to your children, these were not young children. These were the one boy from Trinity. He, of course, was in high school, but I think the other one was very close to that age. Be very careful. Moving water can pull you into those pipes very quickly. And there's two tragic events that could have been averted. So explain to your kids that it might be fun to splash in a puddle, but not through running water. So very, very important.
All right, thank you. Appreciate everybody being here today, and we're going to finish in less than an hour, so that's good. We didn't go on too long today. There's definitely some people who'll be happy to get out of this meeting earlier than later, so thank you all for being here. Is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Aye, okay. We're adjourned.